Here comes the trade wars again. But this time, it's not just with China, but the entire world. President-elect Trump said that he will increase tariffs by 10 to 20% on all Chinese and European Union goods. And the big one, a 25% tax on all Mexican and Canadian goods. That shook the world of Justin Trudeau and Claudia Sheinbaum. I mean, I have never seen state heads flock to a president-elect like this before. And everybody at home is passionately defending their views. But the fact is that no one knows how these tariffs will pan out, not even Donald Trump. In this video, we will explore all the effects of Trump trade wars internationally and at home. Let's understand the issue. During his first term, President Trump raised tariffs on China to combat a bunch of things, like US-China trade imbalance and intellectual property theft. President Biden kept those tariffs. Bipartisanship, baby. Now, during his second term, he wants to increase those tariffs by 10% and has brought allied countries into the mix as well, but for different reasons. For example, he wants to bring back jobs, he wants to slow down illegal immigration, and he wants to become self-sufficient. President Trump ran on the promise of bringing back jobs that were outsourced in the past 2 decades, and then making sure that Americans do those jobs and not illegal immigrants who might do them for a much less pay. The fact of that matter is, we don't know how many of those jobs can come back. And then, how many of those would we Americans actually want to do? And how many of those will get automated in the near future? Not knowing answers to these questions, President Trump must continue with his agenda. And therefore, we have the trading leverage. Donald Trump wants to use his future presidential powers to increase taxes on Mexico and Canada in order to force them to be more strict with drugs and illegal immigration, especially since there's been more movement across the border now than ever before. And both the countries have reacted. They want to settle this issue before Donald Trump gets into the office and do what he's saying. Now the question is, how many countries are willing to bow down to Donald Trump's wishes? Especially when they see that he can at any time pull economic support. Well, they're creating new alliances, like European Union and South America just announced a new trading deal. And this will only cause trouble for the US consumer and US-based companies in the short term. If imports get expensive, that means we have to produce those goods at home, which means more American jobs. But that also means that now we have to pay all the workers minimum wage or higher and deal with all the red tape, which will eventually raise the prices, and they might be just as expensive as it would have been with importing those goods. And I know that Doge is supposed to come in and remove the red tape, but that's 2026. But for now, if this happens, are these companies willing to take the risk? Because if they do, there's a long-term benefit. More products start getting produced in the US. Over time, with less red tape and high volume production, the price starts to come down a little bit, and the US consumer starts to get used to these new prices. As a result, we're more self-sufficient than ever before. If we go this path, there's light through the tunnel. But how resilient is the US consumer and entrepreneur in the short term? Changing the world trading order is a huge task. Donald Trump has made big promises before with no outcomes. This will be a bumpy ride, and it's better than standing still for 4 more years.